One of the very best football nights of my life. England's getting to the Euro final 3 years ago, beating Denmark. They face them this afternoon here in Frankfurt, live on Talksport. And a quick note, tomorrow's Poland-Austria game in Group D will be live on the Talksport network, and it will be our 450th live football commentary of the 2023-24 season. All began Saturday 22nd of July with England's opening game of the Women's World Cup last year. Between then and now, we have broadcast the following games: 136 Premier League, 100 Championship including the playoffs, 40 FA Cup, 31 Champions League, 20 at Euro 2024, 17 Carabao Cup, 14 Europa League, 11 League One including all playoffs, 10 Women's World Cup, 10 Euro 2024 qualifiers, 9 international friendlies, 9 League Two games including the playoffs, 8 Women's Super League, 6 Europa Conference League, 6 EFL Trophy, 5 Women's Nations League, 4 Women's FA Cup, 4 Women's Champions League, 2 Women's International Friendlies, 2 Talksport Trophy, 1 Women's League Cup, 1 Community Shield, 1 game for Ukraine, 1 Soccer Aid and a partridge in a pear tree. And we also reported on games in the National League, the FA Trophy, FA Class, UEFA Super Cup, Scottish Premiership, Scottish FA Cup, Scottish League Cup, and on Saturdays I also brought you results from the Scottish Championship, League One and League Two, and from the Cymru Premier, Irish Premiership, Women's Championship, as well as National Leagues North and South. Make no mistake, Talksport is your station for live football, and every game at these Euros will be live on the Talksport network, and we won't get all cluttered up with the election. You'll find all of that on Times Radio and on Talk as well. You can get those via the Talksport app, which is free to download and very easy to use. We're getting ready for the players to come out. The Denmark flag in front of the goal away to our left, the England flag in front of the goal away to our right. And Stuart Pearce noticed in the warm-up that Denmark were doing something very different. Stuart, exactly what was it?
Yeah, it was absolutely picked up by Jim, actually. We just looking out to our left-hand side there, and the Danes were doing some sort of defensive corner work, you know, tossing a few balls in. They set up their shape defensively from corners and got the non-playing subs in to be sort of semi-passive movement, which is quite unusual. I've not seen that before, Jim. I don't know whether you have.
I don't remember ever seeing it before. I think one of the observations about Denmark defending set pieces is that they struggle to get the ball outside the penalty area, and invariably the opposition can win the second ball. It'll be interesting to see if England can exploit that.
So, Stuart, in terms of what Jim has just said and everything that was noticed, England will have noticed that as well. They were also on the pitch observing that, surely.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether it's something that they do regularly or whether it's just, you know, quirky to this game at all, whether they think England from set plays are a problem, but England would have probably noticed it in the prep of their last game, without a doubt. But I found it unusual. They go through some finishing, they go through pattern of play, all of those type of things. I've never seen a team in club or country practice set plays in the build-up to a game.
Yeah, interesting, and we'll follow that and what it might mean during the game when it comes to set pieces as the game unfolds. It's going to kick off in around about 7 minutes here on Talksport. Harry Kane at the front of the line of England players waiting in the tunnel to come out. By the way, always good to check out the Talksport social media platforms. Lots of content with English and Scottish fans, videos of them. They're all out here in Germany. It's all happening on the Talksport Instagram account, on Facebook as well, and on the Talksport YouTube channel too. Make sure you follow and subscribe, and if you are doing already, then we thank you very much for that. As the players make their way out, led by the officials, up the steps, onto the turf here in Frankfurt, and the flags are waving away to our left and sweeping around that corner of this stadium. Both tiers with a little strip of what looks like seats and hospitality in between are all completely red, full of Denmark fans, and away to our right, sweeping around the whole end, it is pretty much white and all England fans as the players line up alongside each other behind the big banner on the turf that says Frankfurt, and behind the players is a huge flag in the centre circle just being laid on the turf right now that features the European Championship trophy surrounded by the colours of the flags. About to have the national anthems, and we are starting with the English anthem and that is, of course, God Save the King. Just before the players came out, Gareth Southgate came out, clapped the fans each side, and that's a measure of the man. Time now for the Danish national anthem. There is a lovely land. The Danish national anthem there. Now, whatever the results, there will be a reaction. So all Gareth Southgate can do is win it, and his team should be winning this. It's England against Denmark at Euro 2024 with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Talksport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Thank you, Adrian, and a very good afternoon to you. I knew you'd be sneaking out early for this. Day 7 of the tournament. All 24 teams have shown their hands. The odd good card's been played badly, some lower ones quite expertly with unexpected relish, amidst an entertaining opening week with early goals and late winners that's done nothing to challenge the pre-tournament prognosis that it is a wide open field. A winning start has underpinned runs deep into England's last 3 tournaments, but the second game has often proved to be a sterile, must-not-lose affair. Think Scotland in the Euros, and the States in the Qatari desert. A pair of goalless draws of which only sketchy memories remain. But whilst the pragmatic reality of tournament football dictates that a positive result today would indeed be a significant positive, there is a clamour for more fluidity after Sunday's opening game, and the desire to see potential solutions to those niggling, familiar, unanswered questions. Gareth Southgate starts with the same side that beat Serbia. Pickford in goal for his 21st tournament game, more than any other England keeper ever. A back four of Walker, Stones, Gahey and Trippier for his 50th cap. Rice and Alexander-Arnold in midfield. Saka, Bellingham and Foden with Kane up front. Denmark have Schmeichel in goal, Anderson, Christensen and Vestergaard at centre-half. Mæhle, Højbjerg, Hjulmand and Christensen with Eriksen behind Højlund and Vin up front. Danish fans to our left, England fans, a sea of white to our right. The stadium two-tiered, it's a shallower low tier beneath a row of hospitality boxes. A steeper top tier above them, stretching high up within this bowl of a stadium to the closed roof. And that has made for a humid and airless atmosphere. Denmark, red shirts, white shorts and red socks. England in their home kit again, white shirts and dark blue shorts with white socks. The two teams have swapped round, so England in the first half will be kicking from left to right. Well, before the game starts, there will be a tribute to the former UEFA General Secretary Gerard Aigner. who has died at the age of 80. Everybody here at Frankfurt on their feet to pay their respects. To the former UEFA General Secretary Gerhard Aigner, whose death was announced earlier today. So Jordan Pickford makes his way away to our left-hand side, defending the end of the ground in front of the Danish support in this first half. England kicking from left to right towards their fans. 3 years ago, this was the semi-final, when victory over Denmark was the gateway to the Three Lions' biggest match of the century so far. They meet again with a win, providing passport to an easier run through the knockout stages. England have never won their first 2 games of the Euros, but victory here would seal Group C and do it with a match to spare. England from the kick-off, working it long. Denmark turning possession over and finding Højlund towards the edge of the penalty area. Kyle Walker doing some defending. Højbjerg trying to roll the ball into the box, gets a return pass and gets a shot in on target. Inside 25 seconds, comfortably saved though by Jordan Pickford. Delighted that, as ever, you and I are joined by the former England captain Stuart Pearce.
Evening, Jim. Looking forward to this one. Just a couple of things to pick up on. Just Kyle Walker there just put the brakes on and took quite a lump of turf with him as well, and I saw a little bit of that going on in the warm-up. So there was talk about the pitch being a little bit cut up on occasion, a little bit wet, and I'd like to see England take this game to Denmark in a physical encounter. I think we got the legs of them, especially in the advanced areas.
Harry Kane picking up possession and clipping it very cleverly over halfway. An aerial pass for Bukayo Saka to run onto, and he has won a throw that Kane himself will come across to take. Just 2 touches in the opening 45 minutes, famously, the other day. He's had more than that inside the opening 90 seconds today. Here on Talksport, the other game in this group, if you're just joining us, just coming away from work and you haven't heard, Serbia equalised in the 5th minute of stoppage time to draw with Slovenia. And that means that an England win here will see them win the group. That late equaliser ensured that that would be the case. Walker can bring the ball forward and find Bukayo Saka. Saka coming in off the right-hand touchline for England to Kyle Walker. Foden busting a gut to get towards the near post. Walker's cross couldn't find him. He's lost his balance again and just took a slightly awkward fall. Picks himself up, he's okay. Denmark cleared, put the ball out of play for a throw, which England have taken quickly on the near touchline, which is the English right. Saka running towards the edge of the penalty area, checks and works it back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now it comes to Kyle Walker and back for Alexander-Arnold again. To Rice and then back past Trent. It was not the best ball from Rice. Salvaged though before it went out of play for a cheap throw. And he laid it back to Pickford, who will take a touch, bring it outside his penalty area and fire it long out to the left flank. Kane heading a second ball down towards Trippier, and Rice has got it again now in the midfield for England. The majority of possession going England's way with 2.5 goalless minutes behind us.
Yeah, good to see Kyle Walker surging on there behind Saka. Once again, lost his footing. Big lump of turf has come up on that occasion. And every time this ball comes out on this right-hand side, I want to see these boys attacking the wing-back, Christensen.
Yeah, the pitch is definitely picking up. You can see already little sort of pock marks all over the field as Declan Rice picks up the ball and goes back inside his own half for Mark Gahey. Gahey is turning forward towards Rice. England happy in the midfield just to maintain steady possession. Now there's a quick switch of play from Trippier, but over the head of Walker and out of play for a Denmark throw. You can tell from here that the pitch already is superficially marked. Faye Carruthers, our England correspondent, has got a much better view of it than us, Faye.
There is an enormous divot to my left-hand side when Kyle Walker came in and put that ball across the face of the goal. And actually, when they were warming up earlier, I'd seen Harry Kane replacing exactly that same spot.
And it's not great. And you just sense that, for whatever reason, it hasn't knitted together particularly well. It could potentially play a part. Vin dropping off in the midfield for the Danes. Ball inside the penalty area is headed away by Gahey. Clearance goes out to Yeoman, partnering Pierre-Emile Højbjerg in the heart of the midfield. Spurs man in possession now. Plays it back to his left-hand side for Christensen. Barcelona formerly of Chelsea. Christensen again, playing it forward to the tall, blonde-haired striker Vin. Back from him to Yeoman. Down towards Christensen, who controls it. Just keeps it in on the left-hand side for Denmark. Running towards the edge of the penalty area. Easy possession here for Christian Eriksen, 10 yards outside the box. Roll square for Yeoman. He's tried a shot. That one was blocked. It was a more effective pass, really, for Vin. But England on the edge of the penalty area could get the bodies behind the ball and will be able to bring it away and find Bukayo Saka. 5 gone. It's 0-0 here in Frankfurt.
Yeah, unfortunate there from the Danes. Tried to thread one through. Vin on the edge of the box, managed to get cut out, which is good, but on the turnover I'd like to see us spring a lot quicker than we actually did. A lot of players coming to the ball rather than, certainly 2 or 3 need to go away from the ball and give us the option further up the field.
Walker 10 yards inside his own half, played it forward, but missed Jude Bellingham, who England haven't been able to get into the game as yet. Denmark will bring it forward. They too have given it away, one back by Walker, and it's an England throw with the last touch coming off Christian Eriksen. He's the man that scored the Danish goal in the 1-1 draw that they had against Slovenia in the first game that they played in the group. England top of the group with a game in hand on 2 of the 3 teams beneath them. England with 3 points from 1 at the moment. Slovenia 2 points from their 2 games. Denmark and Serbia a point apiece. And more action coming your way later tonight on Talksport. Italy against Spain, one of the very best, most appetising games in the group stages. And it's been played up country from here in Gelsenkirchen. And the Royal Valley, the scene for the game, which kicks off at 8. The build-up from 7:30 here on Talksport. Kyle Walker in possession for England, midway inside the Danish half. Then he puts the brakes on, the check back inside, and the pitch is ripped up as a result of that. And there are now 7 or 8 separate marks just down on this near touchline alone. Ball over the top for Bukayo Saka, trying to spin and make the run in behind Christensen, but it's gone through for Schmeichel.
These are the little head-to-heads you've got to get on top of. Ball played out to Kyle Walker in just inside the opposition's half. He's received the ball. Who fronts him up? Eriksen. It's a mismatch physically. Kyle Walker ends up turning out and playing backwards. When Eriksen fronts you up, you've got to say, I'm afraid you can't match me. Posh it past him and off you go.
That was one of the criticisms from the Danish press and the way that they played their first game. With Eriksen playing in front of 2 central midfielders, there's a need for him to come back and be an extra body, and a sense that perhaps he hasn't quite got the engine to be able to do it. And Slovenia in that game were making third-man runs off him towards the edge of the penalty area and picking up plenty of loose ball, loose second ball around the edge of the Danish box. England not been able to work that kind of opening so far. One-head Christensen in possession, the Leicester man who spent last season on loan at Bologna. Good switch of play out towards the right-hand side. Excellent run forward from Mela, but he's fouled his man, Kieran Trippier. Now it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by England right down by their own dead ball line towards the left-hand corner flag.
Really good switch of play there to Mela, the right wing-back, and he really weren't a lot of room to play with. He's got to get onto that and whip it in first time. Of course, there's a bit of a problem, defence being turned, but Trippier was quick to it, got there on the first touch, got fouled, England in possession.
Very good attacking wing-back Mela, scored a couple of goals in Euro 2020, but they were still surprised that he was recalled today in place of Alexander Barr. Now a problem here for Kyle Walker, as Pickford was just delaying the restart for the free kick, and Walker has gone down. And he's about 10 yards outside his own penalty area, and this must be something to do with one of those 2 check backs in which he's lost his balance, cutting onto his right foot as he just flared his ankle up, I wonder. Just seeing a replay of one of them, his left foot got caught underneath his body as he tried to get the cross in, Stuart.
I think he's changing his boots. He's gone down to change his boots, not an injury here. And the players come out, they've warmed up on the pitch for 45 minutes, and all of a sudden, 5 minutes in, 10 minutes into the game, decide that their studs are not correct.
So one pair of luminous boots being exchanged for another for Kyle Walker. Certainly a pitch that takes a snub, this one. Roof closed, as Faye was saying earlier, because of an adverse weather forecast. They were talking about there being very heavy thunderstorms in this part of Germany. They made the decision yesterday that the rain was going to come in, looking at the radar, and as it transpires, it hasn't. But it has made for a very warm and airless atmosphere, particularly pitch side. Walker still off the field, changing his boots. The game's back underway. Denmark have got the ball at the back, 15 yards outside their own penalty area, bringing it forward now towards Højbjerg. Højbjerg indicating that he wanted somebody to make a run for him. Højlund making a run through the middle. It's worked it in towards Yeoman, who's seen plenty of it in the early stages. England have won it back, turned it over neatly. Bellingham skipping around a couple of challenges, did really well. Good ball retention, but again, England going sideways and backwards rather than forwards for a moment.
Yeah, just not got the options going forward. It's not a mindset of the team at the moment to say as soon as we turn it over, we're going hell for leather for the opposition's goal. And Bellingham had to beat 2 or 3 players, and in the end have to check back. There was no one in advance of him.
Foden picking the ball up on the left-hand side of the midfield. Into the feet of Trent Alexander-Arnold. First thought just to lay it back for Gahey. Played forward from him. Declan Rice will be able to take over. This is still inside Danish territory, although they've gone back now inside their own half for Gahey. Stones can bring it forward. John Stones starting a 21st successive tournament match. Down towards Saka. Saka into the feet of Jude Bellingham, who took it neatly. He was given a couple of shoves. The referee didn't think either of them was a foul. Højbjerg is going to be able to bring it away. He sensed actually that Bellingham had hurt himself, so sportingly taps the ball out of play to see if he needs treatment. He doesn't. He's back on his feet, and England will give the ball back to Denmark from the resulting throw.
Yeah, good play there by Saka. I'm not sure if I was Saka. He's trying to feed the ball inside to Bellingham and spin off him. Maybe even a one-on-one situation. I'd like to see him just do that little dancing and just get on the outside and whip something into the box. Worst case scenario, you get a corner, you force your way outside.
Talksport will be the station that will allow you to have your say into everything that you've heard this latest England performance. At the conclusion of the game, Adrian, giving you the chance to have your say before we bring you live commentary of Spain, Italy later. And Faye Carruthers will also be on hand to bring you all the live reaction from the tunnel as well. And then more reaction tomorrow morning. Alan Brazil, Ray Parler and Gabby Agbonlahor reflecting on tonight's result on the Talksport Breakfast Show. That's tomorrow morning from 6. The Danes speared a long ball over the top, and the offside flag was up. It was a close call. This ball was played straight through the middle of the 2 centre halves. England have it back. And Alexander-Arnold with a lovely switch of play out towards Kieran Trippier, who's controlled it, chests it down, lobs it forward inside the box. Bellingham can pick it up. He's got his back to the direction of play, just comes back outside the left-hand side of the box, back onto Kieran Trippier's right foot, doesn't put a cross in, he's worked it short instead for Foden. Foden to Gahey, back again for Stones, but Walker's the out ball on the England right, and they've got it to him. Infield towards Bukayo Saka, to Walker again. It was at this stage of the game the other night that England found the breakthrough in a tournament that's been full of early goals so far. Saka back for Stones, to Rice, now down towards Walker. Will he take on Christensen? No, plays it across the edge of the area instead for Foden. Chops it onto his right foot. Can he get a shot in? He can, but he's missed the top left-hand corner. A fraction high, a fraction wide, but England's best move of the game.
Yeah, great play there. Interchange on the wide right and into Foden. Really quick feet from Foden. Checked it back onto his right. Moved it again onto his left, opened the goal up brilliantly as he come into the box, and just the bounce of the ball saw him get under it slightly. Well done, Phil Foden.
And Faye Carruthers, that right in front of you, the best chance England have had so far.
Without a shadow of a doubt, and Phil Foden was begging for that ball much earlier than it was given to him. He found a great pocket of space and unleashed that shot, but unfortunately just a bit high and wide. Next time.
Just the one tournament goal for Phil so far, winning against Wales in the World Cup. international goals that he's got to his name. Jude Bellingham also on 4, but has scored in each of his last 2 internationals, including the winner the other day. England have it on the edge of their own penalty area. It's 0-0 here on Talksport, as we bring you live commentary of all 51 games on the Talksport network over the course of Euro 2024. Bukayo Saka just caught by Christensen. Referee Ivan Diaz from Portugal has let plenty go so far. Any 50-50s, he's been more than happy just to let play develop. Only given a free kick up to this point. Vestergaard's going to be able to find Højbjerg, and Denmark will play out from the back.
Yeah, just looking at Christensen there, as I say, ball went over his head. First thing you do, you know when a player is lacking pace or nervous, they look around to say who's covering the run here. And the answer was, it's you, son. You've got to get back, with Saka spinning in behind you. And there's a real lack of pace in that back three, Jim.
Yeah, Vestergaard on the left-hand side, Christensen and Joachim Andersen. Another really good season for Crystal Palace. That's the makeup of the defensive line for the Danes. Vestergaard chipping one forward here, but headed away easily by Kyle Walker. Saka unlucky that he couldn't quite divert it back down towards Walker. Maybe they've got a toe to the pass to just flick it away. And it goes out for a throw that England will take in front of their own dugout. The Danes, 1 defeat in 13, and they won 8 of those. The one loss that they've had coming in Northern Ireland at the end of qualifying. England, 2 defeats in 15 coming into this game. Walker going all the way back for Jordan Pickford. Pickford taking a touch, taking a second touch, and then there's a little bit of angry body language from him as he just side foots it forward for Gahey. I don't know whether he was anticipating that somebody should be making a more dynamic run down the left. England will try and work that kind of passing avenue now, but the ball doesn't find Foden. And Denmark can get it back and will go back for Yannick Vestergaard, who for the moment finds himself in the centre of the 3 centre-halves, having moved there from the left. And Christensen has just come down to the left to give Christiansen a little bit more cover maybe. Bellingham will put pressure on goalkeeper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel laying it out. Rice was there with the press, and Hjulmand has given it away. Rice on the edge of the penalty area, trying to get himself into a shooting position. It's cleared for Kane. Left-footed effort from him is blocked. Comes back off Anderson and squirts out of the England left-hand side. But there is a susceptibility to a dynamic press for Denmark, and they showed it there. England exposed it well.
Well, up in the tempo of the energy out of possession there was fantastic by England. They went, they squeezed, they went man for man, and a straight ball anywhere near Declan Rice's man, you're asking for trouble. It's a poor ball by Schmeichel, and turned over very, very well by England.
Yeah, Yeoman was the one that really didn't want to receive it with his back to the direction of play on his own penalty area. And Denmark got away with that. It's 0-0. We've played 17 minutes here in a humid Frankfurt afternoon. Foden coming inside for England, who've had the majority of possession. Back for Gahey. Gahey clipping an aerial ball down to Kyle Walker. And Walker forward over the halfway line, goes into the feet of Saka. Jude Bellingham looking for the return ball. Walker making his way forward, and he's beaten his man. Past Christensen, inside the penalty area, trying to put it on the plate for Kane! 1-0 England! Magnificent from Walker down the right-hand side, cutting inside the box. A little ricochet or two. Kane on hand, his 50th goal of the season for club and country. And it's the one that might win the group for England.
Brilliant start for England. As I say, it was the ball played in behind Christensen. He thought he had an eternity. He saw the run out of Saka, but it wasn't Saka the danger. It was Walker who tracked him down, run the ball off of him and crossed the ball. Slight melee, and it's that man, knows where the goal is, knows where to be. Harry Kane, 1-0 England.
His 64th goal for his country, 67th goal in his last 70 games for club and country. 50th of the season for Bayern and England, and it gives England a 1-0 advantage. 13 goals now he's scored in major tournaments for England. It's some record. England 1, Denmark 0. clean sheet from here and England have won the group.
Yeah, certainly have. As I say, there was a couple of deflections, just looking at the replay, couple of deflections in the box, just outside the 6-yard box, but it's Kane, the presence of mind to let it roll across his body, and the simplest of tasks to slot in with his left foot. And you can see the weakness with this Danish side. Any sort of dynamic movement will cause them a problem.
So England, for the second successive game, a goal up inside the opening 20 minutes. Possession 63-37 in their favour up to this point, and they'll feel that they have been the better side, but certainly the last 4 or 5 minutes where they pressed more dynamically has caused Denmark no end of problems. They survived their warning, but England punished them at the second attempt. And Vestergaard will bring the ball forward out from the back here for the Danes. And out towards the right-hand side where it's flighted forward. A long ball from Anderson, headed by Stones on the edge of his own penalty area. Walker battling with Christiansen. Play forward again by Hjulmand. And he will get the return ball 10 yards outside the box. Højbjerg now towards the edge of the penalty area. Back for Christiansen again. Left-footed ball in from him, takes a deflection off Walker. Might come through inside the box for Eriksson. Tried to win a corner and couldn't. Saka will be able to eventually hammer it away. What will do in that situation for England? It bounces inside the centre circle, and that will allow England's back four to push forward way outside the box, and everybody in advance of them to condense the play in the midfield as well. We're 20 minutes in, England leading by a goal to nil. Christensen plays the ball forward from the back for Denmark. Højbjerg, Adam Mæhle on the right wing for the Danes. Towards the edge of the penalty area, Trippier just backing off, and Mæhle not really engaging with him, slipped it past him to Højbjerg, comes now towards Hjulmand, to his left-hand side. Christensen will come forward. The Danish number 6 goes square to his right-hand side for Anderson. Denmark try to respond. They've had good possession and decent territory in the couple of minutes since England took the lead through Kane. Running towards the edge of the penalty area again. And then Højbjerg goes in, so too Declan Rice. Loose ball going through inside the box. And England with the presence of mind to be able to get it away. That helped for Kieran Trippier there, who's a right-footer playing at left back. As he came onto his right foot, he was able to get the ball clear. Academic in the end because the offside flag has gone up and it's a free kick to England. Midway through the first half, Stuart, and England a goal.
Yeah, really good presence of mind there by Kieran Trippier. Just used his body really, really well in the box just to deal with any danger. And you're looking at England. Where's England's strength? Once again, similar to the other night, on the right-hand side. Walker's got to surge on and get beyond Saka when he can, or give him the ball and support from behind, because it's Christiansen, the wing-back, facing up, looking to deal with it, and Eriksson coming across as well. So the 2v2, one of those is Eriksson, and I'm not sure Christiansen's got the pace to deal with either Saka or Walker.
Pace, not a commodity that the vast majority of those in red are blessed with. Hjulmand towards the edge of the penalty area again. England on the back foot once more. Mæhle with a cross that's blocked well by Trippier. And it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken 10 yards from the corner flag. Harry Kane, the man that scored the winner the last time these two met, and he's put England's noses in front again. Bellingham turning to the wrong way and giving possession away down by the dead ball line. The Danes try to work him back. Eriksson found a little pocket of space inside the penalty area, but they couldn't find him. Cleared again for a throw, which is taken short. Denmark with good possession around the edge of the England box in the last 3-4 minutes or so. Eriksson working it in. Played down towards Finn, who's just dropping off from a central striking position. Eriksson coming forward, right-footed cross comes shot from him, loops high up in the air. Important that England win the seconds here. Saka's header away, not the best. It's going to come for Christiansen, who drives it in. That was going wide. It's hit Saka and ends up going out of play for a Danish throw.
England have got to get a little bit sharper on the press in and around our defensive box. You cannot let the Danes move the ball and look for a sight of goal. On that occasion, I think Christiansen would have been better suited smashing it at goal rather than, I think, he tried to cross.
Well, we're 23 minutes in. You were talking the other night about substitutions not far beyond this point, and we've had many discussions since on air about dynamic substitutions and the best time to make them. So midway through the first half, would you make any at the moment?
At this moment in time, I wouldn't. What I would do, emphasis on Walker and Saka. Don't want you turning out at any given time. If you're fronted up by Eriksen, go and take him on. If you're fronted up by Christensen, do exactly the same. That's key. Also as well, Jim, on turnover of possession, can I see the back of 2 or 3 players' shirts looking at running behind dynamically? I've not seen that from England yet. So every time we turn over a possession, we're not going to threaten them quickly.
As England legend Stuart Pearce, as always, part of our team here for England on Talksport. As Højbjerg goes out to the Danish right-hand side for Mæhle. High ball swept inside the box. Vin going up for it, but he was very well patrolled by Stones. Vin got his head to it, but could do no more. Pickford picks the ball up from that. And just for a moment, England had a 3 against 3, isolated on halfway.
For me, that's an early ball. It's an early delivery from the goalkeeper. I know he's saying, look, I want to calm the situation down, we're winning the game. I understand that. But you're 3 on 3. There was no even look to play that ball in dynamically quickly.
They're trying to get one forward here for Bellingham's run. Schmeichel comes out to the edge of his own penalty area to pick it up. But that was better from England. That was the pass as they try to get the midfield runners going up against the slowest of the 3 centre-halves, Yannick Vestergaard. He made the positional change for the Danes to swap those centre-halves round. Vestergaard going into the middle.
Well, I think they're covering his pace up a little bit, but Christensen's not demonstrated to me that he's blessed with a deal of pace either, Jim, to be honest with you. So it's the lesser of the 2 evils, I think, is what they've done there.
Yeah, certainly a situation that you would imagine England will be hoping and expecting to be able to exploit. They've had much more defending to do since taking a 1-0 lead. It does play into England's hands on the counter-attack, which is clearly an area that Denmark can struggle from. Eriksen towards the edge of the box now, trying to play his way through. Rice on the stretch, trying to get it away. Foden back defending. Bellingham such a calm head under pressure, just walks his way out of trouble. Danes have got a body down inside the box. Play will go on. Saka to Walker. And now Alexander-Arnold will play forward for Saka again. And Saka caught by the sliding Vestergaard, who gets a yellow card for a challenge just inside Danish territory.
Yeah, as I say, the Danes were looking for a free kick on the edge of the box. I think what he's done is actually stub his feet, actually, on the turf. And then Vestergaard, a really poor challenge. He's had 1, 2, 3 goes at Saka, and he knew full well that he was never, ever getting back goal side.
The only player for either team who's on a yellow card coming into this game is Jørgen, the Danish midfielder. Vestergaard the first to pick one up today. 2 yellow cards results in a suspension. England with this free kick that Kieran Trippier will look to take. Just seeing a replay of Højbjerg going down, caught it absolutely right. He did stub his toe and did so well outside the penalty area as well. There's momentum taking him inside the box. Free kick taken short by Trippier. Right-footed ball over the top. Gahey trying to hook his right foot around it. Did well to make contact. He could do no more. And the ball ends up rolling innocuously into Kasper Schmeichel's side netting. 27 gone on Talksport. 1-0.
I think we're in a similar position as we were a few nights ago against the Serbs, where I've got a feeling after the run of play and what I've seen of the opposition, there's a game here to be 1, 2 or 3-0, Jim. I really do. I think we've got the tools to hurt them, but we have to make it a physical game and we have to go after them a little bit. A couple of nights ago I thought we eased off, and hope we don't do the same this evening.
Højbjerg able to lay the ball back for Christian Eriksen. And Christensen will bring the ball forward. Jørgen and Anderson. Ball out towards Mæhle is always on. He's keeping the width on the Danish right. And Kieran Trippier is circumspect with his defending. Now he goes out to engage. Mæhle will play the ball back inside, and Denmark will get towards the edge of the penalty area with Højbjerg. Tries to run towards the byline. It's kept it in. Pickford came to meet it, couldn't get there. Vin laying it back, and then Højlund eventually has it taken off his toes by a backtracking England defender. That just got a little bit nervy pretty quickly for England for a moment there.
Yeah, Jim, we've had a few instances around the box because we're not massively aggressive in our press around the box. They've been out of play through us on occasion, and players bursting past our defensive players and getting too much of the ball inside the box. And we're fortunate there that the ball, just from Hoyland's point of view, didn't drop to him. He managed to get a turn on.
Yeah, tried to improvise with a little backheel flick which hit Trent Alexander-Arnold and went through for Jordan Pickford. Pickford, who's kept clean sheets in 9 of his last 13 tournament games for England. And just to reiterate the situation in this group, we told earlier today a 1-1 draw between Slovenia and Serbia means if Pickford can keep another clean sheet now, England will win this group with a game to spare. If they do so, they play a team that have finished third in their group in Gelsenkirchen on June the 30th. Crossfield ball from England from within their own penalty area from Gahey to Walker. Walker back for Stones. Stones to Pickford, who's got time to take a touch. Not the most vigorous press from Hoyland, which Pickford will be relieved about. Eriksson winning it back from Bellingham in the midfield. Bellingham trying to reply in kind, but couldn't dispossess Jormund. Out it goes to Mæhle again. A lot of the Danish attacks coming down that side. Vin, no offside flag up against him at the moment. Mæhle clips it in high. Pickford comes to meet it. Stones maybe was favourite. Pickford got a hand to it, paddled it away, and now Saka will be able to pick it up, and Stewart urges him forward, and he's running 30-40 yards forward before Christensen comes across, blocks him off, and Denmark get it back.
Yeah, sheer panic there from the Danish defenders. He's gone past 2, and it was the third one who blocked his run. I thought it was an obstruction personally. Just talking about England, on their build-up and press, he's got 4 attackers coming towards the ball. You can't have that. You have to have at least 1 or 2 of them looking to threaten to go in behind the Danish backline. Otherwise, things get too tight and too congested.
Vestergaard with the ball inside the centre circle. Down towards Christensen again. Christensen inside his own half will just lay it back. Vestergaard gets it between the lines. And now Vin dropping off. Is able to spin it back out towards Mæhle. Mæhle taking on Kieran Trippier. Yard also outside the penalty area. Vin coming back outside the box. Højbjerg is able to bring it forward. He goes back for Anderson. Anderson, stretch ball inside the penalty area. Problems for England for a moment. It ends up just cannoning on to the roof of the net off a Danish player. Last touch, I think, came off Gahey. And it's the first corner of the day. Denmark have it. England with the lead.
Gahey's done brilliant there, but once again, 35 yards out from goal. Danish player on the ball, comfortable in possession, no pressure, straight ball onto the edge of the box, and there's a clear sort of passing line to feet, and that is too dangerous. It's too simplistic.
Danish corner right in front of their own support. Vestergaard can be a menace in this situation at 6'6". He's making his way forward towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but just as the corner was being taken, the referee's blown his whistle. And he's called over Christensen and Walker. And Aldo Diaz just laying down the law, telling the pair of them that they have to approach this in a fair and legal manner. They both had their lecture and both walk away grinning.
Just as the referee stopped the game, you saw exactly what they're looking to do. It's the Teddy Sheringham peeling round to the penalty spot and finishing Højbjerg. Hopefully they don't try it again and get away with it again.
Yeah, went in deeper this time. Vestergaard heads it over the bar, but the whistle had gone before he did so. And it's a free kick to England inside their own box, which Jordan Pickford will take. Let's go back pitch side and catch up with our England correspondent, Faye Carruthers. Faye, you've got a theory about why Jordan Pickford hasn't been going long so far?
Why he hasn't been going long? Well, probably because of the pitch, first and foremost. But what I was actually going to say was about Gareth Southgate remonstrating. He thought better of it, actually, with the 4th official, but he was very angry about the foul on Saka, another one where his run was blocked. And they're happening too frequently. Gareth Southgate not happy with it.
OK, Faye, thanks for now. England again taking their time coming out from the back. Vin guilty of a foul. Gahey bends down and repairs the turf after he was caught by Vin. He had just nudged the ball away, and challenge from the Danish number 19, saw more ground ripped up. Denmark pick it up easily again. Hjulmand, it's in off the post from 30 yards. It's an extraordinary strike to get Denmark back on level terms. Hjulmand picking up possession, took a touch, and he's lashed it in off the inside of the left-hand post. And England's lead has lasted barely quarter of an hour. The first goal they've conceded in the tournament draws Denmark level at 1 apiece.
Well, Harry Kane's received it in the far corner there, and he's basically turned and played it blind across, I wouldn't say the face of the goal, but maybe 30 metres out. And once again, we talked about it earlier, do not give players space to play passes. On that occasion, it wasn't a chance to play a pass. It was a chance to get his head up and have a shot. And I'll tell you what, the ball absolutely arrowed straight in the corner. I don't think Pickford's got a chance of getting anywhere near that. Brilliant strike. Slammed off the post and into the net. 1-1.
Sometimes you've just got to hold your hands up and say you've been beaten by a shot of real quality. It is his first international goal. The man who won the Portuguese league this season with Sporting has got Denmark back on level terms. But it came after a 10 or 12 minute passage of play where England were getting forced deep. And because of the precarious playing surface, just in danger of positional errors and losing possession too easily, and Denmark have eventually exploited it.
Well, exactly that, Jim. If in and around the box, say, let's have a dome, a defensive dome of 30 metres, you've got to get into the passing lines of the opposition. If you let them play straight passes or balls into feet in and around the box, you're relying on little bounces going your way, and that's a dangerous game to play for any defender.
Schmeichel taking the free kick. The shot, incidentally, measured at 114 kilometres an hour from Morten Hjulmand, which is pretty quick. Just trying to do the mathematics in my head to get that into miles per hour for you and me. 70 odd, 80 odd.
I don't drive at that speed, Jim. I wouldn't know.
He hit it well. I think you pinged them in at that speed, though. Here's Denmark winning possession again in the midfield. Højbjerg chipping it over the top. Stones backpedals, heads away. Finds Kyle Walker. Now Walker coming forward, just away from Christian Eriksen's challenge. Still he goes, Kyle Walker, but ended up passing it into the midriff of the lunging Christensen. And England win it back. Not for long, though. Bellingham with a sliding challenge in midfield, and the referee has pulled play back there. That's a break for England, because the Danes had a real advantage. But he's pulled it back for the foul by Bellingham on Vin to give Denmark a free kick on the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, he just committed to the decision, the referee. Unfortunately for England, he did.
1-1 the score. Harry Kane on 18 and Morten Hjulmand on 35 with the equalising goal.
We've got a situation once again, we've got our nose in front, and then since that moment I don't think we've done anything particularly offensive.
Hjulmand back out of the Danish right again. Now back towards Yannick Vestergaard. Vestergaard 8 yards inside his opposition half. Forward towards Højbjerg. And Højbjerg goes back once more for Christensen. Now towards the right-hand side of the Danish midfield, worked in towards Hjulmand again on the right-hand side of the penalty area, and he tried to repeat his initial effort. Couldn't get that one right, but it took a deflection and loops away and out for another corner.
Yeah, Hjulmand got himself in a really good position there, probably about 25 metres out, received on the half-turn, and as soon as he fronted our goal up, my heart was in my mouth. Good block eventually and a corner to deal with.
Eriksen will come across to take it. Slightly different setup for the Danes this time. We've got 5 in all close quarters around the penalty spot. It's a very deep ball towards the far post. Anderson heading it back in. Pickford had it covered as it went over his bar and onto the roof of the net. So about 15 minutes ago we were talking about potential changes. Stuart, since then, Denmark have had their best 15 minutes of the game. Would you be making changes now?
I don't think I would to personnel, if I'm being honest with you, but there's certain tactical things I would look at and say, every time we get the ball on the build-up, I can't have my 4 forward players all coming back to the ball. And you've got to keep encouraging. At the moment, we're playing them at a static sort of passing game. We've got to make this game an athletic encounter. That's what will hurt them. And at the moment, we're playing at walking pace when they've got the ball.
Well, possession just after England scored was 63-37 in England's favour. It's now exactly 50-50.
I think the closest I would have come to a sub, if I'm being honest with you, is probably Conor Gallagher once again to offer us that energy in the middle of midfield.
In for Trent.
Yes.
Vestergaard to his right-hand side. The Danes with their tails up. Now working it forward towards Mæhle. Mæhle taking on Trippier. And his cross was poor. And if the service had been a little bit better, particularly from that right flank from Denmark, this could be worse than it is for England. 1-1 the score. England dominating. I say dominating. They weren't, when they were at their best, as dominant as Denmark have been when they've been at their best. Harry Kane giving England a lead which lasted just over a quarter of an hour. And Yeoman with the equalising goal for one who's played so little. He's certainly not green. He's looked very assured in the heart of the midfield. Alexander-Arnold poking it, just got it to Rice and away from Rasmus Højlund. They'll get it back for Pickford. Pickford looks across and gives a message to those in the technical area, raises his left hand above his head. Foden can bring it forward. Foden still going. He's passed 3 challenges. Still Phil Foden goes and tries his luck. Left-footed effort that Schmeichel can make a comfortable save from, but that was much better from Foden. We haven't seen that from him in the tournament at all so far.
Yeah, really good play there. As I say, it was his half turn and an effort earlier, and obviously coupled that with that turn, it just shows how easy England players can go past the Danish players, but you've got to ask the question to get the answers you want. And at the moment, I don't think we're asking enough questions in possession of the ball.
So England with it again at the back with John Stones. One of the criticisms that you offered the other day was that England's attack was lopsided, that so much was coming down the right-hand side, not an awful lot down the left. You've been more impressed with what you've seen from Foden. He's been coming into more central areas again, but has done so more effectively. But England's still offering very little down that side against Mæhle to try and take him back, and that's given him more licence to push forward.
Yeah, we've had nothing at all. I wouldn't say very little, I'd say nothing at all. When Phil Foden's done some of the better work that he's done in the game so far, it's been coming central, or alternatively coming near enough right the way across to the right-hand side.
3.5 minutes to go to half-time.
I would still, I think, Jim, like our full-backs to get advanced a bit more aggressively as well. Walker's done it once and we've scored from it.
Bellingham lays it back for Trippier. Trippier's ball inside the penalty area for Kane. It's a difficult one to control. England win the second zone around the edge of the penalty area. Vin, the player that was beaten for Denmark. Good little backheel flick round the corner. Trippier in towards Foden. Foden coming towards the edge of the box. Left-footed. Looked for Saka's run. But the ball was too high for him and it's gone out of play for a goal kick at Denmark. It's 1-1 and you're with Talksport.
Yeah, unfortunate there from Foden. Got on the ball extremely well. Good set up by Bellingham and Trippier. And I think he just got caught in two minds and just overhit the cross slightly.
Well, England don't have a good record in the second group game. 5 0-0 draws in the second group game that they played in major tournaments since 1990. Their last defeat in the second game of the Euros was back before that in 1988, the 3-1 loss to the Dutch.
I've got to say, if I'm looking for a victor in this game, either team at the moment look as though they've got the credentials to score a goal and win a game.
1-1 is the score with a couple of minutes to go to half-time. At least one to be added, but no more than 2. Rice forward towards Foden. Foden's ball back, just cannoned off Højbjerg. Højlund gets involved, linking up the play. Now it comes down through the midfield for Højbjerg again. Out towards the right-hand side for Mæhle, the danger man. His cross, well dealt with by Mark Gahey, who climbed above Højlund to be able to get it away. Harry Kane back defending on the edge of his own penalty area, picking up possession, but just trying to bulldoze a a lone furrow through because there was no outball for him, really, and Denmark get it back so easily.
Yeah, you're right in what you say there. As I say, Kane picked the ball up 40 metres from goal, and it's him running forward, and he's got to his left Bellingham, to his right Saka, and neither wanting to run forward.
Højlund for Højbjerg, and straight at Pickford. Well, they've been the better side over the 45 minutes as a whole. Denmark have been superior. I wouldn't say that England are hanging on necessarily, but all the best chances are coming away to our left-hand side rather than to our right, and it's been another lacklustre 45 minutes from England, and given away again, this time by Stones. Højbjerg for Højlund, and on the left-hand side of the penalty area, Rasmus Højlund works it across to the penalty spot, couldn't find Højbjerg. England will be able to get it out of harm's way with Rice. He thought that he was fouled by Mæhle in the process. Loose ball does come out of the penalty area, then Vestergaard steps up from the defensive line to beat Bellingham as it's fired forward, but it does end up in the hands of Jordan Pickford.
I think if you ask the three centre-halves for Denmark whether they're quite comfortable in the game, they would say yes, we are, because none of the England forward line are looking to run in behind us, and that's our Achilles heel. We've got to do that, stretch them and ask questions of their weaknesses.
One third man run forward from Jude Bellingham. Saka's made a run into a central position to get on a Foden cross, but haven't really seen too much. There's certainly no huge energy or pace to be able to expose the lack of pace. Very well publicised lack of pace in the majority of the Danish back line. We are in one added minute at the end of this first half, with Saka working forward cleverly here for Kane. Kane will take on Christensen. Plays it back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Right-footed ball in from him, hit Eriksen. Becomes a fight ball. Trent wins the fight and heads it on. Saka down to the right-hand touchline. Back it comes from Kane. Kane to Walker. Walker to his left-hand side for Declan Rice. Stoppage time at the end of the first half. England led, but have been pegged back and have struggled. Better ball inside the penalty area from Trent. It's going to find its way all the way through to Trippier on the left-hand side of the box. In towards Gahey. Gahey to Declan Rice. 10 yards outside the penalty area. England need to be quick about this. Down towards Saka. Saka chesting it down on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Just forced away. Playing in Foden. Foden with a left-footed effort. Schmeichel took a step back. Knew it was going to go over his bar. And that takes us through to half-time. Well, there were moments of positivity for England taking the lead. The principal one of them. But they dropped back after that. Denmark deserved the equaliser, which came with a stunning strike from Hjulmand. And at half-time in Frankfurt, it's England 1, Denmark 1.
Well, so many England heads down as they trudge off. They're going really slowly as well. Get in the dressing room. Get the messages from Gareth Southgate. Get your heads up. Come out and play like top-level elite footballers. I personally don't know what's going wrong. We'll try and get the answers from Stuart Pearce on that. But that, for me, is unacceptable for an England side. And Gareth Southgate has a job on in that dressing room to get them playing better. Let's take a look at the half-time highlights with Carling.
Half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Well, before we do, that's 1-1. Let me give you a few stats that might well worry you. England going in front was fantastic, but then the same old story, wasn't it, after that? After England scored, Denmark had 77% possession, at the end of which they scored their equaliser. 77%. Incredible. Jude Bellingham touched the ball 7 times in the 15 minutes between the goals. Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane have linked up 0 times whatsoever in that first half. And in the middle 20 minutes of the first half, Phil Foden, who actually I'll speak about in a second, 3 touches of the ball. That's in 20 minutes in the middle of the first half. I actually think Phil Foden's done all right. He's had a couple of shots on target. He's made some space for himself. Certainly not stuck out on the left. He's drifted inside, but at times that's left Bellingham stuck out on the left, which seems really odd. Stuart Pearce, I'm probably sounding frustrated because I am frustrated. I'm seeing Declan Rice telling Jordan Pickford to calm down and slow down when you're saying up here he should get the ball up because we've got a 3-on-3. We should get it out quicker. What on earth is going on the pitch? What's happening?
Well, firstly, weaknesses of the Danes. They lack pace. So we know that. going into that. The three centre-halves really lack pace. Anything in behind them, they get a big problem. So we know that straight away. Eriksen's sort of playing tucked in on the left-hand side for the Danes defensively, and he's being asked to go and deal with Kyle Walker when he gets the ball. Massive mismatch. Really big mismatch. So if you're Walker with his pace, every time you get the ball and you see Eriksen in your eye line, run past him. And all of a sudden Christensen's got a question to ask. We've got nothing on the counter-attack because every time we turn the ball over, I see players saying calm down, and the front four going back to receive the ball to feet. At least two of them, you've got to see their number. To stretch play, to either play the ball in behind them, or alternatively to free up space for the likes of Bellingham to come and receive the feet. On the right hand side is where our goals come from and where we can be more fruitful because it's a natural balance. Saka and Walker have got to go and take Christensen and Eriksen on down that side. We've got to have some more energy in the team, both attacking minded and more importantly defensively, because in and around our defensive dome we're not getting tight enough to players to stop the passing lines, the goal coming from it namely, and a couple of other situations as well. Sorry it's a big list for you.
No, I love it.
But that's where it is. I don't know whether this is once again a game for Conor Gallagher's energy, just to give us a lift and someone to, you know, drive the team a little bit with their sheer energy. I think that's the main thing that's needed.
I'm not going to blame the pitch because it's the same for both sides. But there are divots on it. How difficult is it to play on a pitch like that? Bearing in mind, Belgium and Slovakia played on this. Both of them complained about the pitch afterwards.
Yeah, listen, the pitch might be a little bit wonky. Not the end of the world. It's still a top quality pitch. That doesn't stop you turning and running forward. It doesn't stop you taking people on. It doesn't stop the whole list that I've just offered you there. And we need to do that better because at the moment we got our goal, which is good. We show good energy to get the goal and stuff like that. When we have pressed, we look quite aggressive. But at the moment we're playing a game at a tempo that suits them. And I said it the other night, and I'm going to say it again. If we play to their tempo, we're not playing to our strengths.
Declan Rice is sitting so deep. He's turning around telling Jordan Pickford to take his time and calm down. Why is he doing that? I don't understand. What's that message about and why is he so deep?
Well, firstly, he's trying to get on the ball and build play. Whether that is correct or not sure. We spoke about going into these internationals about, are we getting enough pound for pound out of Declan Rice? Can we utilise his energy a little bit more? You see him when he pressed at the front of the team when Schmeichel played a straight ball. That's his forte. We might need to get him up the pitch a little bit more to offer us that energy that I'm hoping Gallagher might offer us if he comes onto the pitch. But at this moment in time, it's a little bit too static, the performance. We're better than that individually and collectively, and we need to show it.
Two very quick questions before I give you a breather at half time, much needed as well, Stu. What's Harry Kane scored a goal, great. What's he doing for the equaliser? It's a great strike, but he's passing the ball into the centre of the pitch, maybe 35, 40 yards away from our own goal to nobody in particular. What is he thinking?
No, he's hooked one blind, basically. He's took a touch, then hooked it blind, and that was a dangerous thing to do. Sometimes you get away with it, mate. Sometimes the player gets the ball played to him, gets it out of his feet, and unloads a shot like that, and you've got to give credit to him. It was an absolute howitzer of a shot. It really was, by Jormund.
It was a fantastic strike. One final one. Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield. Has this experiment got to end now?
Well, at this moment, why? I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to answer it before you answer it. Why is Trent in midfield? He's in midfield to play forward passes in behind the defence. If you've got four advanced players all coming back to him, there is no ball for him to play, so you're killing his forte.
Well answered. And there were lots of questions there. There's a million more after the game, and we don't know what's going to happen in the second half. We will be taking your calls. Make a note of the number. You may well need it. 03717223344. That was the half-time highlights. Thanks to Carling 18+. Please drink responsibly.
Half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18+, always drink responsibly.
Well, there are 99 problems, but the pitch is not one of them. You are listening to Euro Game Day live on Talksport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. The only good news is that England aren't losing. It's Denmark 1. England won at half-time on Talksport.
Euro Game Day live on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £20 on packs of beer like Peroni. Then there's party wear from £1, the midfield trio of bunting, face paint and flags.
And don't forget the dependable 2 for £7 on Coke 8 packs could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda with beer and decorations on offer until the 14th of July. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Beer packs 10 times 330ml each, not available in Scotland. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. May exclude express in small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
Roll out of bed. Put the kettle on. Get into serious altercation with your 3-year-old. Try logical reasoning. Fail. Become the voice of Mr. Snuggles. Negotiate your way out of a tantrum and become the greatest parent of all time. For less.
Selected IKEA soft toys are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses. Choose from thousands of amazing all-inclusive holidays with On the Beach. Go all in on all-inclusive. Leave the bank cards at home, but not your trunks. On the Beach. Book like a genius. Holiday like a fool.
ATOL protected.
On the beach. Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
It's the event we've all been waiting for. The 30-metre vacuum is on. He's really ramping up the power. Straight around the first corner, overtaking Pepper. Oh, no! He's hit a hurdle. It must be a coin. Great recovery, and now he's on the home straight. This could be a personal best, and he's done it. Incredible scenes. He really has cleaned up.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by Talksport with Burger King. What's better than a last-minute winner? A crispy chicken royale delivered straight to your door.
Soccer punch your summer. They've scored!
No one gets you closer to the action.
And it's a magnificent goal.
Kick it up, kick it in, kick it on.
Euro Game Day Live
on Talksport.
Half-time in Frankfurt, live on Talksport. It is Denmark 1, England 1. Faye Carruthers is pitch side with a bit of half-time news. Faye.
Well, I just saw some of the players warming up, and a few of them went in a little bit earlier than the others, but particularly Jared Bowen sprinted back down the tunnel and was called in. He was alongside Joe Gomez, Esri Konsa and Ivan Toney as well. The other players did follow a couple of minutes later, but I thought it was interesting that they went in first, and particularly Bowen seemed to be going in with a bit of intent.
Thanks, Faye. We'll have sharp eyes on that when England come out for the second half, when they've got to do better. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talksport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18+. Please drink responsibly. Another quick stat for you. Christian Eriksen has had double the amount of touches in the opposition box than the whole of the England team. He's had 8. England had 4. Incredible stat. Let's look at the latest odds, all thanks to William Hill.
In the Zone on Talksport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
England are 7-5 to win. Denmark 18-5. The draw's 13-10. England to win 2-1 is 3-1. Bukayo Saka to score or assist is 10-3. That was a look at the latest odds thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Be gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on Talksport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Well, second half to come live on Talksport. We'll be taking your calls, me and Stuart Pearce here in Frankfurt straight after the full-time whistle. We'll also get reaction from the England camp when we know what the result is. But it is 1-1 at half-time. Let's go to Gelsenkirchen because the late game on Talksport is a cracker. Spain against Italy, and the Premier League manager Alan Pardew is there for Talksport for commentary. How you doing, Alan?
I'm very well, Adrian. You?
Yeah, real good. Good to talk to you. I've got to tell you, we've got a Talksport YouTube watch-along going on at the moment. Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, the deadly duo, on the sports bar later. They're currently doing that. They've accused England of playing like Scotland. Is that a little bit harsh? I think it's harsh on Scotland, isn't it?
Well, I'm just frustrated because obviously after watching us take the lead again, we did exactly the same as we've done in the last two tournaments when we've been knocked out, and also in the last game where we just sat too deep and invited pressure. And in the end, we've paid a price for it. And, I said to the breakfast show the other day that I think Declan Rice sits too deep for us, and therefore we don't get no pressure on the ball. And, we're conceding so much ground to Denmark, a team we should be absolutely dominating. That's my view anyway.
No, I agree with that as well. Is it an easy problem to fix at half-time, do you think?
Well, I'd like to think that Gareth and the team would have sorted it out after the last game in terms of how they conceded so much ground and almost, ended up getting a draw in the first game. This time, at least, it's been happened before half-time. So, hopefully, the second half, we're up the pitch a little bit more, step on them, and create more chances. The one bonus I thought in the first half, that Phil Foden, his final delivery in this game hasn't been great, actually looks sharper, looks lively, looks like he wants to achieve something. So that was a small bonus from the first half for me.
A quick one on your game, Spain-Italy. Listen, they're two great sides. It should be a cracker.
Yeah, it'll be a cracker. There's great atmosphere here. They've got the screens in the middle of the stadium, which is great, so everyone can see the replays, etc., which I think we should have in the Premier League. And two great teams, the first real two heavyweights to meet, Italy and Spain, and I'm looking forward to Spain because in the first game, Yamal and Ruiz in particular were terrific. So it'll be interesting to see how the great defenders that they are, Italy, cope with this Spanish team and the youth and exuberance that they have.
Alan, brilliant stuff. Looking forward to your commentary later on from Gelsenkirchen, Spain, Italy. And that's live on Talksport later. Alan Pardew on commentary for that for Talksport. Privileged to have him with us for the tournament. And the teams are back out here in Frankfurt where it is Denmark 1, England 1. And the message from up here is England, you simply have to do better than you did in that first half. Let's get his second half live on Talksport with former England captain Stuart Pearce alongside Talksport's England commentator Jim Proudfoot.
Well, you would hope from an England perspective that was their worst 45 minutes of the tournament out the way. It feels as though it can only get better from there. It was interesting just before the second half starts, Stuart, looking at the average positions that the players had in the first half, that both of the Danish fullbacks average position was higher than that of Harry Kane's.
Yeah, and that probably sends a message out and tells you everything, and I certainly think, I understand they're playing wing-backs, so you'd expect them to be a little bit higher, but probably our fullbacks as well need to take a leaf out of that book and get more advanced and more aggressive in their play.
So we're back underway. England white shirts, dark blue shorts. They're kicking from right to left in this second half. And they get an early free kick as Højlund is flagged offside. No changes. So it's Pickford in goal, Walker, Stones, Gahey and Trippier, Rice and Alexander-Arnold, Saka, Bellingham, Foden and Kane. For Denmark, Schmeichel in goal, Anderson, Vestergaard, Christensen, Mæhle, Højbjerg, Hjulmand and Christiansen, and then Eriksen behind Højlund and Vin. And England have the ball at the back again with Stones. Worked down towards the right-hand side for Kyle Walker, who tried to slot one up a thin corridor down the right-hand touchline for Bukayo Saka, too thin as it turned out. And it's gone out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Danish left. Throw which took a spiteful bounce over Højlund. England can clear. Hjelmen picking it up in the midfield, down towards Mæhle. Mæhle has been a real menace pushing forward from right wing back for the Danes, but if England can push him back, we might see less of movement like this as he gets another ball inside the area and sets it up for Vin. That's taking a deflection. Højlund's trying to get in there, bounces England's way. Trippier will try and hook it away, did so with his left foot. It went just skied high up in the air. Pickford could come out and catch it. There was no way that was going to be deemed as a deliberate back pass. Then the ball played forward through the midfield again to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's very nearly caught in possession. The referee's done him a favour, said he was fouled, and it's a free kick to England inside their own half.
Yeah, it was just delayed on the ball too long, got shut down and had no pass on whatsoever. It was fortunate to draw a foul then.
Bellingham for Rice, and turn back towards Jude Bellingham again. Bellingham coming forward inside Danish territory. Declan Rice loses possession. Just had red shirts converging on him very quickly, and they pinch the ball off him. On a side that are capable of executing a very energetic press, even if they're susceptible to one themselves. We haven't really seen that from England in the 25 minutes, half an hour since England scored the goal. We've seen it plenty of times from Denmark. Very good side at defending from the front.
The biggest commodity England need at the moment is energy in this team, and at the moment we're flat as a pancake. We really are.
Gahey did well. Dealt with Højlund. Kane working it out towards the right-hand side for Bukayo Saka. Saka making his way forward. Outside him is Kyle Walker. Walker gets there, plays it back for Kane, who's dropped off again. Down towards Saka. Saka tiptoes his way past a couple. Harry Kane has it. England just forced to go back. There was a little bit of pace in that counter-attack, but Denmark very quickly got themselves back behind the ball, and it's 5-4-1 when they are defending. They can get into a shape very quickly. Foden, back for Rice. Stones brings the ball through the centre circle, just invites a challenge from Højlund before flicking it out to his Manchester City teammate Kyle Walker. The luminous yellow boots, back for Rice, worked forward again by Alexander-Arnold, who's just dropped a little bit deeper at times in the second half and almost split the England centre halves. England then just play an aimless ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area, almost drifts out of play for a throw and go within 10 yards of any man in white. And Denmark are going to be able to bring it away for turning it back from the goalscorer Hjelmen to Schmeichel. Schmeichel's ball forward. Walker comes to meet him. Looping header from him. Knocked away by Vestergaard, brought down by Højbjerg, who's lost it. Good play by Bellingham to win it back. Eriksson then does likewise, comes back in and picks Jude's pocket in the midfield. Bellingham still down, still not happy with the Portuguese referee, still moaning about it when he gets back to his feet. They need to continue, need to get a grip of this, because there's been no discernible improvement really. The opening 4-5 minutes of the second half here on Talksport, where it's still one apiece.
And there's some Jude's looking around for a bit of charity here from the referee, and I'm afraid you have to create your own charity game on game on game. As I say, for me it wouldn't be too long before I looked to the bench and said which one of the players who sat behind me can offer me energy, because this performance certainly needs it. Gallagher springs to mind, Watkins probably as well to stretch the opposition, I would suspect, and potentially Bowen as well.
Now Bellingham with a good touch has found Alexander-Arnold, and England have got 4 against 3 if they can work it right, and they can't, because the ball from Trent went behind Kane and Foden. England have still maintained possession, but as it goes back for Trippier, there are now 8 in red between him and goal. Bellingham for Walker. Just another little insight into how England might be able to break quickly. Bukayo Saka's got it right hand side of the area, stands it up to the far post. Foden bringing it down. He sees it cleared off his toes outside the penalty area. Gahey to Trippier. Good reverse ball down the left hand side of the box. This is better, more enterprising attacking play from England. Bellingham on the left-hand side of the penalty area lays it back for Kieran Trippier again. Trippier to Declan Rice. Rice sets the sights, it's deflected, and Schmeichel dives to his left to serve.
Better by England there, and the catalyst being Saka. Ball out to him, and one-on-one, you can tell he's got the ability to go past someone. The encouragement has to be there to say every time you get that ball, go and take someone on.
It was a shot from distance that just took a little nick. Schmeichel was able to make the save. That's how the goal that they conceded the other day against Slovenia came about. Shot from a similar kind of position, took a more substantial deflection, and wrong-footed Schmeichel and beat him. 1-1 draw between Denmark and Slovenia, where Denmark lost their way in the second half of that game. England have lost their way in this one from the moment they took the lead. Rice into the feet of Bellingham, and now back towards Mark Gahey. Gahey circumnavigating another little bit of the pitch that is not as it should be. It's been ripped up from previous skirmishes. England have still got the ball and will bring it towards the edge of the centre circle. Alexander-Arnold to his left-hand side for Mark Gahey. 7 gone in the second half. And it's still 1 apiece. Alexander-Arnold looking long this time, spearing it over the top of the back line. Saka trying to bring it down. He's knocked it past Schmeichel, but only into the side netting. Waiting for the ball to come down. He was under pressure from Christiansen. He saw that Schmeichel was coming out. He was brave, Bukayo Saka, threw himself at it, got his header past the goalkeeper, but the angle was too tight for him.
Literally from a ball over the top of the back line, struggled to deal with Saka. Great run by him once again, and showed a bit of bravery to get his head on it. Schmeichel was a bit fearful of giving a penalty away, I believe. And I think I've just seen Gallagher down on the touchline looking to come on. It's that energy, and hopefully it's infectious.
Conor Gallagher will be on in a moment. Early in the second half, we played only 8 minutes of the second period. It would be the earliest substitution that Gareth Southgate's ever made in a tournament game, in a situation where England weren't comfortably ahead. It is just going to be Gallagher. He'll be on in the next break in play. You would imagine for Trent, the ball is played forward by the Danes again, headed away by Mark Gahey, flicked round the corner by Mæhle, helped on by Johanmann, but Højbjerg is offside. And it's going to be a free kick that will be taken by England just outside their own penalty area. Let's go pitch side. And our England correspondent Faye Carruthers can fill us in with details of this change. Faye?
Yeah, Conor Gallagher is coming on, and you were right, Trent Alexander-Arnold is coming off. Conor was just taking on instructions from Paul Nevin and from the goalkeeping coach, actually, Martin Margetson as well. So they're just going to try and shore up this defence a little bit, and as Stuart said, bring a little bit of energy onto the pitch.
Yeah, as I say, it's purely that for me. It's the energy. Someone to get around the opposition, to hurry them, get on the ball, knit things together. Gallagher's forte, and I all feel sorry for Trent because I don't think he's had a forward pass on. I really don't, you know. You see him in a Liverpool shirt and it's like the red arrows in front of him, with Salah and 1 or 2 others bursting in behind and running behind, chasing lost causes. There's certainly no sign of anyone chasing a lost cause at the moment.
Yeah, the red arrows this time flying into England's faces. And the ball cleared by Pickford, long from inside his own penalty area, won by Kane. And now brought forward by Bellingham, who's done well to win the seconds. Jude Bellingham to his left-hand side. Foden checks his run to bring the ball under control. Slips it down the left-hand side of the penalty area again for Bellingham. And it's cleared and put out of play by Johanmann. The throw that will be taken on the England left, down by the corner flag. England still haven't had a corner in this game. But 10 minutes into the second half, and we're in Frankfurt. And it remains 1-1. Just the odd, fleeting sign of encouragement for England.
Just saying the importance of this game and potential victory as well. The fact that you would avoid the Germans potentially in the next round. If we end up finishing second in the group, they look as though they're going to win theirs or have won their group.
Yeah, the runners-up of England's group, Group C, will play the winners of Group A in Dortmund, which you would imagine is going to be Germany. I think in the position that everybody is in, it'd be a major shock if it isn't. Saka towards the edge of the penalty area here. Schmeichel is beaten, the shot hits the post. It comes back out, outside the 6-yard box, and England can't get Bukayo Saka on the follow-up. But that was much better, and Foden's inches away from restoring the lead.
Yeah, great strike from Foden there, but it's Saka again weaving his magic on the width. He's ball inside, picked out Foden brilliantly, I've got to say, and his shot beats Michael, cannon back off the post.
you sense an improvement over the last 3 or 4 minutes?
Yeah, I do, but there's a bit more energy. That comes from someone turning, someone facing the opposition up, and someone running. It was Bellingham who done it slightly earlier, then it's Saka, and then on that occasion just turning, Foden, turning, facing the opposition goal.
Well, the Danes are going to make a double change, and Christiansen and Vin are the players that have come off. Mikael Damsgaard of Brentford coming on, and also the wing-back Alexander Ba. The Benfica player comes on. He was the one that was left out of the starting lineup. So he will come on and play on the right, and they've moved Mæhle out to the left. And Damsgaard will play slightly deeper than Vin. Højbjerg through the middle, Højlund through the middle, I beg your pardon, and Damsgaard and Eriksson almost as split ends in behind them. 1-1, 57 gone. And England win a throw as the long ball forward down towards the pacey bar on this near touchline is overhit and goes out for a throw that Kieran Trippier will take. Well, plenty of chance for you to react to everything that you've seen and heard today with this England performance immediately after the full-time whistle. Adrian and Stuart taking your calls here on 03717 223344. The boys on the sports bar likewise tonight from 10 o'clock. Don't forget we've got Italy-Spain in between times, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff in Gelsenkirchen here on Talksport with Alex Crook and Alan Pardew talking through the action tonight in that heavyweight clash in the Ruhr Valley. Damsgaard involved in the action straight away. Swoop one inside the penalty area, and Pickford came to meet it, couldn't get there. Rice is going to be able to chest it down and poke it away. Foden, I think, thought that there should be an offside flag and stands hands out, imploring the assistant referee. But nothing given. It will be a Denmark throw. And they've got a good long throw on them. It's launched inside the penalty area. England win it in the air and then win the seconds on the edge of the box. Significantly with Bukayo Saka, forcing Denmark back towards halfway, where it's been given away cheaply by Anderson, and Kane can get the ball under control, and that's a great pass from him, and towards Bukayo Saka. Saka towards the edge of the penalty area, waiting for the support to arrive, if indeed he needs any, but he sent a shot across the face of goal, and wide.
Yeah, good crossfield ball there by Kane, and when Saka received it, he just had one defender fronting him up, and he probably should have gone after him straight away. He's delayed slightly to get the ball under control, and in the end they've doubled up. But he's a real threat to them, he really is, and the fact that they've taken Christensen off tells you everything.
Yeah, Mæhle on the left, but on the right-hand side now. It's going to be Mæhle that will be trying to keep an eye on Bukayo Saka. Will be able to force him back and stop Mæhle's attacking threat, although there's plenty of it on this near touchline now for Denmark. We're an hour in. A very pleasant summer's evening here in Frankfurt, although the roof is closed. It remains very airless. It'll be a hot, strict tapping down at pitch level. Gallagher his foot in, winning it back, finding Trippier. Foden clipping it, left footed out towards the right-hand side. A sense that England slowly are beginning to wrestle control back in this game. Saka, right-hand side of the area, tries to pull back, couldn't find Bellingham. Left body's back in red to be able to get it away. Gahey heading it to halfway. Stones will turn it all the way back for Jordan Pickford, and here comes the press. Pickford gets there and knocks it away from Højlund easily. And England can play out from the back and then give it away again. The number of misplaced passes there have been from England players. Walker was the perpetrator of that. And as a result, having presented it straight to Højbjerg, he then had to foul it. And it's a free kick to Denmark over on the left-hand touchline.
Yeah, Cole Walker there didn't have a pass on, coming back towards his own goal on the width, and just ended up giving the ball away. I think at the moment, I can't remember Jude Bellingham's performance being as flat as it is at the moment, and I would say similar to about Harry Kane as well.
So I'll ask your thoughts as to what the next changes should be very imminently. First of all, this Christian Eriksen free kick to defend. And a really poor one. And he's hit Bukayo Saka, who's standing 10 yards away, almost as a token gesture. And he's given him an uppercut to the bottom of the chin with the free kick. Saka did well to stay on his feet. He had the old wobbly legs for a moment. He's fine. Schmeichel comes out of his penalty area, and his poor clearance falls straight for Saka. He feeds Gallagher. Gallagher loses it and then wins it back, and then commits a foul and gets a yellow card. All in the space of 2 or 3 seconds. Conor Gallagher, the first England player booked in this tournament. There's another free kick with Denmark on halfway. 61 gone. 1-1 on Talksport in Frankfurt.
Yeah, you're talking about utilising the bench. In all honesty, what I'm watching at the moment, I'd probably take Kane and Bellingham off, if I'm being honest with you. Put Foden in as a number 10, put Watkins on up front to offer us that energy and drive in behind to change the dynamic, and then whoever you want on the left-hand side, to be fair.
Now let's go back pitch side and join our correspondent, Faker Owens.
And Berici, Eze are all warming up. They've all taken on gels as well, so potentially in the next few minutes we could see at least one, if not all 3 of them introduced.
It's the start of that, I do beg your pardon. Eze, who are the other 2?
Jared Bowen and Ollie Watkins.
Thank you, Eze, Bowen and Watkins, the 3 players who might be introduced shortly. 62 gone, it's 1-1. Højbjerg for Denmark, who's had a really good game. Now finding Christian Eriksen. And Preston, just combining in the centre of midfield. Back now for Yannick Vestergaard. Vestergaard 8 yards inside his own half, clipping it for the Leicester man. He's just signed an extended contract in the East Midlands. Saka coming back. Looked like the ball hit his hand. The referee plays the advantage. Damsgaard, who scored the last time the 2 sides met for Denmark. Inside the penalty area, taking it on. Couldn't get past Kieran Trippier. And Trippier will get it away from the stumbling Damsgaard, and Rice is going to be able to play his way out. Bellingham flicking it on, looking for Kane. England struggling to get any kind of outball when they've got it. Then Rice sliding in, has lost it. Eriksen from distance, way over the bar. And out of play for a goal kick. 18 minutes into the second half, Stu. Changes imminent, changes necessary.
100%. We need some energy. Bellingham looks as though he's absolutely sold out, if I'm being honest with you. And Harry up top as well, not offering a great deal of the team, and it will become decidedly more tougher this game if we do concede a goal. Make no mistake about that. And I would have thought that potentially Gareth and the team themselves would probably take what they've got at the moment if you give them a choice.
Well, a draw does keep England top of the group as things stand right now. It'll be England 4, Slovenia and Denmark 2 points apiece, and Serbia 1. That a victory in the last game against Slovenia would guarantee that England would win the group. They can guarantee that by winning this game tonight. 1-1 the score. England led for 17 first half minutes. Denmark equalising exactly half an hour ago. Gahey played forward towards Harry Kane. Kane turning, drawing Vestergaard out from the defensive line. Declan Rice working it forward for Walker. Walker coming forward now towards the edge of the penalty area. Saka to his right, Bellingham to his left. Plays it in towards Jude Bellingham. Bellingham then running straight into Damsgaard, who's got the easiest job of being able to bring it away. He looks for Højlund, but Gahey wins it back. Gahey very nearly able to thread it through for Saka in between wing back and centre half. England get it back again after a skirmish in midfield. Walker getting the better of Yulman and getting it out towards Saka. Saka right hand side of the area, curves it in, too deep for Foden, and out of play for a goal kick. 1-1.
Yeah, unlucky there by Saka, just overcooked the cross. But every time it arrives at his feet, you think that's our best opportunity of breaking them down and getting the opportunity to score. And, just looking at that situation there with Bellingham, he slid in and basically just lost his footing, attempted to make a challenge.
Are you anticipating that Jude will be one of the players to make way here?
Well, if it was down to me, the answer is yes. I think he needs a break, and to be honest with you, he looks flat. He's so flat, it's incredible, you know.
Watkins, Bowen and Eze all about to be introduced. Triple change for England at the next break in play. Stones. Back back for his goalkeeper, Jordan Pickford. Pickford letting the ball run across his body, poking it away from Højlund, out of the penalty area to Rice. Rice then under pressure, a hurried ball towards Gahey, and goes out of play for a corner. There are then words again between Rice and Pickford. There will be a corner, the first of this second half, which the Danes will take. They're going to make a change before the corner, and they're going to be bringing on the vastly experienced striker Josef Poulsen, the Leipzig player. He will replace Højlund. So a like for like up front, striker for a striker, as they prepare to take this corner, and RB Leipzig's record all-time goal scorer Josef Poulsen will come on.
Well, I'll tell you now what the players will be telling you in the press conference afterwards. The pitch was terrible, you know, and Declan was one there, ball played into him by the goalkeeper, miscontrolled it, put it out for a corner. Let's hope it's not costly.
Corner that Eriksson will take, lofted in towards the penalty spot, too high for Vestergaard. Damsgaard trying to pick it up. He'll get a second bite of the cherry, fires one in from distance, and Pickford can claim it relatively easily. He scored that goal against England in the semi-finals of the Euros in 2021. He hasn't scored an international goal since. He hasn't scored a goal at all since then. He hasn't scored a club goal since 2020. Testing Pickford there. Pickford playing it out from the back. England working down the left-hand side with Foden to Rice. Played forward towards Kane. Won back by the Danes. Still England not in a position to make this triple change as yet. Bar's done well for the Danes on the right-hand touchline. It's near side. England substitute stand, hands on hips, waiting for their entrance. Christensen. Too much on that for Mela. And now England will be able to rotate the pack. These changes being made midway through the second half. Now we're going to be seeing Watkins, Eze, and Jarrod Bowen as well, I think.
Yeah, well, we've certainly got three players there that have got energy to burn, and they need to show that in abundance, really, to give this team a lift at present. And to be honest with you, I think that Foden wouldn't have been one of the ones I would take off on this occasion. I think he's probably been quite a bright spark for us today. I really do.
Well, Foden's the first off. Saka, the second man to leave the field. He does so via the far touchline, and Harry Kane is replaced by Watkins. So Bowen and Eze out wide, Watkins through the middle, Bellingham stays on, Gallagher already on, so England have made 4 changes, they've got 1 left. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think my opinion is this. I think Saka and Foden, certainly Saka, very, very unfortunate to be taken off. Jude Bellingham would have been the first one I took off. I think he's just lacking a bit of energy in the game today.
So as things stand at the moment, England still with ready to play for in Cologne on Tuesday. They will meet Slovenia. It will, of course, be live on Talksport.
I'd have been more tempted to put Foden in into the number 10 slot where Jude is at the moment and let him forage around in that area.
Well, England with all of these riches in terms of forward-thinking players, will the depth of the squad really come to the fore now? 1-1 the scoreline. Got 20 minutes to go here in Frankfurt. A little bit more breeze coming into the stadium now down pitch level, I'm led to believe. There's Gahey. Down to the England left-hand side again for Kieran Trippier. Gahey has it again. Gahey rolling it across the face of the penalty area out towards John Stones. Eze playing on the left and Bowen on the right, as you would imagine. Ollie Watkins through the middle. Watkins rather than Tony, the right call for you with the game as it is at the moment?
Well, you need someone to stretch the opposition, and his first interaction there, Watkins, is looking to spin him behind in the channel, albeit the ball didn't come and he had to check his run. But 100% Watkins, yes, his introduction, his energy is exactly what's needed, more so than Tony's hold-up play.
Now Kyle Walker is taking a throw quickly, which he played a big part in winning after he intercepted a crossfield ball from Mela. Stones fall into the feet of Jude Bellingham. Now towards Gallagher. Now towards the England right-hand side again for Walker. Bellingham drawing the challenge, flicking it past Poulsen. Stones to his left-hand side for Rice. Trippier hugging the left-hand touchline, supplying the width. Berrichiez has got the ball, winning his 5th cap today. It's his first ever appearance in tournament football. Bellingham, good ball in. Watkins, the angle's tight, and he's forced to save Alex Schmeichel to win England that first corner.
That's what you need from Watkins. That's what Watkins will give you. As I say, twice now he's checked in behind. Great run. Cross the back of the centre half. In behind the left-sided centre half. And they can't deal with him. They're lacking pace. And if he keeps doing that and we keep supplying the ball, we've got a chance.
Saved by Schmeichel off his inner thigh. Ball out of play for this first corner for England. Let's go in the 72nd minute. It's a congested 6-yard box. Flighted in there, headed away. Comes out for Trippier. Trippier heads it behind square for Gallagher. Gallagher takes a touch, tries to find Eza, who can't get there. The through ball is on towards Ericsson. Gallagher comes back to cover his run on the counter-attack. Still problems for England here, backing off quickly. Powellson with the layoff back behind Ericsson. And England have now got 9 behind the ball, including Gallagher, who has been able to intercept Ericsson's next ball forward and block it. Denmark have still got it and will come again. That was nervy on the counter-attack. It was 2 against 2. The Danes who worked it better, England was struggling. Back it comes from Barr. Arne Christensen to Vestergaard. Exchanging passes with Pierre Højbjerg. Ball out towards Mæhle. England's back line backing off with Mæhle in possession just for a moment. Into the feet of Ericsson, turning it cleverly round the corner. Shot from distance. Pickford parries it away. Might break out for Mæhle. Doesn't quite outside the penalty area. Mæhle lunging in has caught his man and gets a yellow card. It's a poor challenge. He just tried to win the ball. It was a genuine attempt to win it, but he was there high and late. And he's booked.
Yeah, he certainly was. It's quite a bad one. He's caught Bowen, I think, was from that parry from Pickford. As I say, we've shown a bit more energy up top with Watkins bursting in behind on a couple of occasions, and we need to keep supplying him. Encourage the run.
Between the full-time whistle and 7:30, you'll hear reaction from the England manager and players. You'll also be able to give us your reaction as well, having your say on national radio with Adrian and Stuart taking your calls from 7:30. The build-up starts for Italy-Spain, which is our 8 o'clock kick-off live from Gelsenkirchen, and then the Sports Bar talking England, all things England and more from 10. England trying to bring the ball forward here with Bellingham as he won another corner. Yes.
Yeah, Watkins it was. Watkins' energy once again causing a problem. You can see the fear factor in the back line of Denmark.
So 2 corners in the space of 3 minutes, had to wait more than an hour for the first. Bowen's going to go out and take this one. Stones and Watkins both stand by the penalty spot. Declan Rice on the edge of the 6-yard box. Gahey is there as well. Bellingham in the near post area. Stones making a run in from deep. And it's headed away by Højbjerg. And Eza will watch the ball go over the line and out of play for a throw. Not in any great hurry to take it. He just wants things to unfold for him. In fact, he's going to leave it for Walker. Walker, though, does show a real alacrity. Getting the ball down the line for Bowen. Bowen supplying him with the return ball, but not the best one because it's gone straight out of play for a throw. Walker knows he's out of position and walks away with the ball just to give himself a chance of trotting back to get back in position to face this Mæhle throw. And there are 15 minutes for either of these sides to win the game. England are victorious. They've won the group. Denmark England will be second in the group going into that final game against Slovenia in Cologne. And you can hear it on Tuesday on Talksport. Ericsson's got the ball in the centre circle. Trippier's done really well. And he's unlucky that having got there ahead of Barr, it's just run away from him into the Danish technical area and out of play for a throw. England have got 1 change left at their disposal. Stu, what do you think of that?
Well, I'm not seeing a deal of input. I would have kept Foden on the pitch, I've got to say, in that number 10 slot. So for me, there wouldn't have been a need for that change unless you want to put Eza into that area and then look at potentially Gordon or Palmer on this left-hand side.
Ball over the top. Jarrod Bowen And he has been guilty of a foul. The assistant referee over on the far touchline didn't flag. It was there to be won as it bounced awkwardly just on the halfway line. Bowen attacked him with Vestergaard, and he got the better of him. Vestergaard ending up going to ground, and the referee said that was because of Bowen.
I've got to say, Vestergaard then would have been a fully paid up member of the Copenhagen and Dram Society the way he went to ground, for goodness sake.
He got the free kick. England had got away with one in the first half. The referee didn't play an advantage. Shot comes in from distance from Højbjerg. Pickford can get his hands behind it, bowls it out quickly for Kyle Walker. That's better from England. That's what they need to do. Walker and Gallagher with a little 1-2. Sliding challenge wins it back for the Danes. Back from Højbjerg to Mæhle. Mæhle through the centre circle into just a shaft of sunlight that's making its way into the stadium on this warm evening. 14 minutes to go. It has been a tournament that has provided late drama. We've seen some today in this group already, with Serbia scoring an equaliser 5 minutes into stoppage time. Will there be late drama here? Poulsen trying to get the better of Gahey. The ball has rolled over the line, and a goal kick to England is the result. 13 to go, 1-1.
Yeah, I think in talking about England players as well, I think Gahey has had a fairly solid game once again, Jim. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
I'd say the standout performer of England's back line.
Yeah, it'd be fair to say.
I think he's acclimatised himself to tournament football very ably. Still plenty of time to win it. Pickford getting the ball forward. Going up for it is Ollie Watkins. In the grand scheme of things, although this has been a performance that will be, again, dissected at length, a draw isn't the worst result in the world. England will be top of the group, their fate very much in their own hands against Slovenia on Tuesday. So it wouldn't be the worst result. If England can get the winner here, win the group, it completely transforms things. They'll know that they'll be avoiding Germany. They'll have a draw in the easier half of the section, and they'll be able to rest players and rotate for that final group game, knowing that everything is sewn up. So that's the prize at stake here with 12 minutes to go. England have got it with Stones to his left-hand side for Mark Gahey. Gahey playing it forward to Iberra Chiesa. First time he's had the ball at his feet, and he's released quite beautifully Ollie Watkins. Watkins having to scamper after it, actually can't keep it in. Looked as though Ezra put enough spin on the ball to hold it up before it rolled over the dead ball line. Not quite an execution of the pass, but just couldn't quite get it spot on. And he goes out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Kasper Schmeichel.
Well, Watkins has spun in behind on 3-4 occasions now and started to stretch the opposition's back line, and to be fair, I think his introduction should have been slightly earlier, to be honest.
Schmeichel to take the goal kick. There is winning his 103rd cap today. He's so far a winner of this competition back in 1992. He's been part of the Talksport team out here giving his thoughts on proceedings. And here today in Frankfurt, Eze, foul. Højbjerg claims that he took the ball. The referee disagreed. It's a free kick that will be taken on the England left-hand side by Trippier, and Pickford, a bundle of energy, raced out of the box to say, I want to take it, I want to knock it forward long. Trippier took it short, and then Pickford had to scamper back. Just seems to be a few moments where there's not coherent thought amongst the England players. They're not always on the same wavelength about what should be happening in given situations. We've got 10 minutes to go. Stones down to his left for Gahey. 10 yards inside his own half. Gahey working it forward, but Eze is beaten well by Anderson. Poulsen comes back and can link up the play. Plays around Gallagher. And then Damsgaard involved along with Eriksson. Back again on halfway to the blonde-haired Danish goalscorer Yeoman. And the ball picked up in the right wing-back position by the Danish number 2 Joachim Andersen. Andersen out to the left-hand side of his box to Vestergaard. Via a touch from Schmeichel. Falling to the feet of Damsgaard. He's given it away, and it Goes out for a throw that'll be taken by England, forcing the error with their play off the ball. And it's a decent press from England that is giving them a chance now 25 yards outside the box.
Well, it's the team with the most energy and the most impetus to get on the front foot. Looks as though they might get the opportunity to win this game.
Scott Olsen is going to be coming on very shortly, and the familiar figure of Christian Nørgaard is going to be coming on as well. With Denmark's final changes, long ball over the top, too high for Watkins, headed away by Andersen, given away by Hjulmand to Bellingham. Bellingham into the feet towards the edge of the penalty area. Watkins couldn't get it into his stride from Bowen's pass, but it's cleared now for an England throw over on the far touchline, 8 yards from the corner flag. Denmark will make their double change. So we're going to see Anders Skov Olsen come on, player who is a winger, got 26 goals this season as Bruges won the Belgian title. 8 international goals to his name. He'll replace Christian Eriksen. And we're also going to be seeing Christian Nørgaard, the Brentford man who has come on as a substitute in 8 tournament games in his career now without ever having started one. And he will come on to supply some fresh legs in the midfield. Straight like-for-like swap to replace Hjulmand. And that's Denmark's hand play. England still with one change left, with possession, with a throw. 8 minutes to go. England trying to spend those 8 minutes on the front foot.
Yep, that'd be nice. Both teams look very, very tired, I must say. I think the Danes have joined us a little bit. Obviously the pitch probably has had something to say in that.
It is a heavy pitch at the end of a long, hard season. Denmark did fade late on in their game against Slovenia, as we mentioned earlier. Can England capitalise on something similar happening here? Rice caught in possession, just dallying on the ball in the midfield. One back by Skov Olsen, down towards Ba. Played forward down the right-hand touchline. Denmark using the full width of the pitch, but Skov Olsen was going to run out of room pretty rapidly. And then Ba has dispossessed Gehi, and he's inside the penalty area with 2 to his left. And a brilliant sliding recovery challenge from Mark Gehi keeps England's parity intact. He made the error. He bailed himself out in the nick of time.
Yeah, he did, but I tell you what, Declan Rice has played a big part in that. He give the ball away further up the pitch, then he's given a shortish pass to Gehi, who probably should have just cleared it, but he's tried to keep it alive, and a wonderful recovery by him.
First Danish corner of the second half. And it's going to be taken on the right flank. No Eriksen to bend these in now. Swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it took a horrible bounce and throwing himself at it. Christensen has deflected it over the bar. Big chance.
I'll tell you what, when we look at that again, our heart will be in our mouth. It was a decent ball. It bounced just in front of him, right on the 6-yard box, and he's hooked it from underneath it and got it way over the bar. Great opportunity.
He's only ever scored 3 international goals. Christensen, he might have made it 4 there. Denmark again have got it back cheaply. Gallagher on the edge of the penalty area, and a shot goes wide of Pickford's top right-hand corner. Really good attempt.
Jim, we're hell-bent.
They just need to desperately calm things down.
We're hell-bent on giving the opposition a lift-up and a goal at the moment. That's 2 occasions we give the ball away awfully in bad areas. And I thought that was closer than it actually was. Gareth Southgate just pointing both fingers to his temple, saying, come on, let's think. The team, look, they literally, to a man, look as though there's no energy in the group at all.
5 minutes remain. 1-1 the score. Denmark will platter the ball upfield again. Poulsen, he gave him a shove and then just dropped off to make sure that he could pick up the seconds. He's been able to do that now. Finds Kyle Walker. And then for Italy, Spain to come. The build-up for that game in Gelsenkirchen from 7:30. Kick-off at 8 here on Talksport. But plenty of time for England reaction from Gareth Southgate, from the players and from you. With Adrian and Stu for the full-time whistle here through to 7:30. Then on the sports bar from 10. Ball played for by England through the midfield. Coming to meet is Andersen, who's had a decent second half. Then played out by Damsgaard to the Danish left-hand side for Mæhle. player who's caused real problems pushing forward from wing back since switching flanks. Now worked out towards the Danish right-hand side for Barr, who will chase after it. He's done no favours at all by the quality of the pass. And the roll over the line and out of play for an England throw in their left-back position.
Yeah, you just can't help thinking that this final whistle can't come quick enough for England. They'll grab this point and move on and say it's a positive point on the performance, definitely.
A win sees them win the group. A draw sees them top the group. They'll be a point clear, or 2 points clear of both Slovenia and Denmark. Eza. Turn it back towards the edge of his own penalty area. It hit Powles and Gallagher brings it forward. Yellow card is shown for a poor challenge by Nørgaard. Just about his first contribution since coming on, Christian Nørgaard. And he's the third Danish player to have his name taken. Conor Gallagher, the only England player booked today. England will be able to bring the ball forward up the right-hand side, but don't get too far because Højbjerg, a real candidate for the man of the match, stuck his foot in and won it back. Now Poulsen down towards the right-hand side for Anderson. Denmark by and large playing with a back five rather than a three now, just keeping Barr at home, but still mainly giving a little bit of licence to push forward down the left. 3 minutes to go. And here is Mæhle again, controlling it, working it back inside for Yannick Vestergaard. England haven't been able to expose the perceived deficiencies of Vestergaard, who has moved back out to the left of the three centre-halves latterly since Bukayo Saka went off. Vestergaard's got it again, turns it towards halfway, coming to meet it is Gahey, and Poulsen's fouled him, free kick to England pretty much on the centre spot, Stu, 2.5 to go.
Yeah, once again Gahey done well there, got first contact on that and drew the foul. And England, I'm not sure they're looking to try and win this game, just hopefully not trying to lose the game. Is more in their body language.
1-1 the score. Pickford spotting the ball down and then just asking for clarification. Do you want it taken there or do you want it taken there? That all eats up valuable seconds. Now he's waving with his gloved left hand at the England players on the edge of the penalty area and eventually works it short for Walker. Walker will drive it forward, but Walker's hit it with the pace that Pickford should have hit his with. And it's just sailed past Stones and everybody and has gone out of play. Gareth Southgate again, shown on the TV screens, clearly mouths the word relax. This is another England performance, whatever happens from here. Whether this ends up 2-1 England, 2-1 Denmark, or there are no further goals. This is a performance they will need to get out of the system. And it's given Gareth plenty to think about. I'm not sure he'll sleep too well tonight after this. Schmeichel with the clearance from the goal kick as we approach the 90th minute here on Talksport. Poulsen flicks it on. Gahey protects the path of the ball back for his goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, who again makes that calming hand gesture. 1-1 in the grand scheme of this group is not a bad result for England. But the performance has been lacklustre with a capital L. Eza goes back towards Rice. Rice to Gahey. Gahey inside his own penalty area for the goalkeeper. And now he will look to play out of the right-hand side of the penalty area. And Stuart, you've almost got your head in your hands with this.
You're damn right I have. At the moment, we're passing it. And, wow, we've got absolutely no idea what we were trying to achieve just then. All we were trying to achieve, basically, was drawing the Danes onto us slowly but surely. Wow,
Stones ended up playing it forward, not the best ball, but it took a deflection, went out for an England throw. So they'll run the clock down a little bit more. Walker with the throw towards halfway. Bowen going up for it. Eza just got clumped on the back of the head, and it's a free kick to England on halfway. Are they going to try and go direct with this one, or are they going to work it short again? 3 minutes of added time. They have worked it short. To Gahey. Bellingham. Been caught in possession, no he hasn't. It was a foul, but he very nearly was, and there was the potential for Scott Olsen to be clean through had the referee not found in his favour.
Well, Jude Bellingham dropped to the halfway line, got the ball at his feet and then decided to walk with it, not thinking that any of the Danes looking at him might think, hang on, I'm going to go and take this off you.
Pickford again, wasting time. Gahey taking the free kick across the edge of the centre circle, down towards Stones, far towards the edge of the penalty area, looking for Watkins. Denmark will be able to bring it away with Skov Olsen. High right-footed ball forward towards halfway. Gahey coming to meet it. He's caught Paul Olsen and wins the free kick. And England have taken that too quickly. And after Diaz, the referee said to John Stones, no, needed to spot the ball down. It was moving and taken from the wrong half of the field. Paulsen's furious, but it's another free kick to England.
A definite free kick. I mean, basically, Gahey's the one on the front foot. He's the one going to deal with the ball. Paulsen just took him out.
Well, a late goal from a free kick here would paper over a fair few cracks from an England perspective. This one, I don't think will be worked short. Pickford to take it, just lofting it towards the edge of the penalty area. First contact from a Danish player, so is the second. Cleared back towards Trippier inside the centre circle, and deeper from him to Pickford. Denmark push up, condense the play, trying to play England offside. They haven't managed that as Pickford launches a long ball forward, not quite long enough. Gallagher going in for it in the midfield with Mæhle, and Mæhle can come away with it. Now towards Nergaard, who can turn neatly. To his right-hand side for Christensen. Christensen plays it down towards the Danish right-hand side for Bar. Chip forward towards the edge of the penalty area. 1-1 in stoppage time here on Talksport. And England get another free kick for an over-exuberant challenge from the Danish forward like Skov Olsen that time. And a free kick that's been won by Kieran Trippier. Free kick taken by Gahey to Pickford. Again, in absolutely no hurry to get the ball forward, England.
I'm astounded, Jim, how drained our players look. I really am. They're absolutely flat on their feet. And all they're doing is encouraging the Danes to come on to us.
20 seconds to go. Bellingham, forward. Eze trying to take it in his stride on the edge of the penalty area. Eze working it square. Almost broke Jarrod Bowen's way. Didn't quite. Denmark clear it. Stones brings it forward. Stones clipping it right in the last seconds of the game here. Into Walker and back again. Into Gallagher and back again. Into Declan Rice. And that is the end of the game. Boos and whistles. Greet the full-time whistle. It's a positive result for England in that it keeps them top of the group. Not a positive performance. If anything, lulling future opponents into a false sense of security. England mentally and physically drained, not able to perform of their best in any shape or form. They led, sat back, got caught, hung on, and it's finished 1-1.
Well, we're going to take your calls on that. I think I'm pretty certain what you're all going to say. That was rubbish. 03717 223344. And a few England players collapsed to the ground after that. Listen, we told you before the game it was hot. We told you during the game the pitch was cutting up. Same for both sides. So England can't have that excuse. And you know, England were clueless, talentless, hopeless. They lacked energy, they lacked ideas, they lacked quality. Just not good enough. But it might be good enough to get out of the group. And Stuart Pearce just totally disappointed and deflated with what I've seen.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's very difficult for me to offer you words of wisdom to change that mentality. I think you should be of that mindset. We lacked energy. The performance was flat as a pancake. It was quite incredible. And at the end of the game, if anything, we were playing with that lack of energy. We were drawing Denmark onto us and looking to make mistakes that were going to cost us the game. The only positives, Gahey, I thought, once again has been England, arguably our best player. Certainly in this game he was, and another solid performance. And on top of that, we've got a point to move on with. But there you go.
Boos from the England fans were warranted. Listen, in the context of the group, it's not the end of the world. England almost certainly will qualify from the group. But if we're going to go deep in this tournament, we're going to win the thing. They've got to play a whole lot better than that. At times, Declan Rice seemed to be arguing with Jordan Pickford. There seemed to be debates between the two of them. Declan Rice was really deep. He sold Mark Gahey short with a pass backwards that nearly put us in trouble. Gahey with the rescue. Declan Rice was poor today. That's not normally him, is it?
No, he was flat of energy, which is unlike him. Yes, maybe he was playing too deep. We talked prior to the tournament about how can we get more energy and a better performance from Dec, because he's got so much more to offer maybe than just that holding midfield player. I was really, really disappointed with Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane today. Harry's got his goal, well done. But I tell you what, I'm not sure how Jude stayed on the pitch for 90 minutes. I've got to be honest with you.
Is that because we're over-reliant on him and we're just hoping for a little bit of magic, even though he's had a rare bad game? Have we become over-reliant on him, desperate for him to do something?
I think there's a little bit of that in there. I felt a little bit sorry for Saka and Foden being substituted and Jude staying on the pitch. It's horses for courses, and for me, I think moving Foden into that central role would have been a better option.
So what do we put right for this? What can we do for the next game? Because, for a long time now, 10 minutes before the end of the first half in the first game, so you're talking, 55 minutes of football in the first game, England weren't good. First 20 minutes here, they were good until they scored, and then they completely went off the boil. So that's a lot of football with England not playing fluently. Now, you want to peak at the right times, but it looks like we're nowhere near peaking.
Yeah, it would be fair to say, listen, if you said to me, give me 5 bullet points on why we haven't performed today, I would say our fullbacks have not been anywhere near as high up the pitch and offering threat going forward as they should have done. And more so Cole Walker, because he's more of a natural there. The only time he went up the pitch and pressed, I think that was probably the only time he got in the opposition's box. And for Cole Walker, who's an attacking fullback with the pace he's got, is not good enough. I didn't see any runs in behind from our front four in the main, the odd one from Saka over the 2 games. But when we pick the ball up in midfield, if you're going to put Trent in midfield for his passing range, if all he's got is 4 players just staring back at him and no one offering a spin in behind, you saw the difference really with Watkins coming on, spinning in behind, nearly getting in and stretching their back line. That's what was needed, it really was. And defensively, in and around our box, especially first half, the defensive dome was not aggressive enough in stopping attempts being played through our line. And there's one team on the pitch at the moment clapping their fans, and it's not England.
No, the Denmark players are still out there applauding their fans who've stayed behind. A lot of the England fans have gone disappointed with what they've seen, and the England players are already in the dressing room. Let me give you Group C. England are top of Group C with 4 points from 2 games. Yet again, they've drawn their second game in the group. Denmark 2 points from 2, Slovenia 2 points from 2, Serbia 1 point from 2. A draw against Slovenia in the last game, and England are through. A win, and obviously guarantees that they win the group. But seriously poor performance from England today. And if people are thinking that England are going to win this tournament, then this England side have got to start playing better. Things have to change drastically. Again, the substitutions will be questioned. As Stuart said, I was surprised Saka was taken off. I was surprised Foden was taken off as well. I thought those two showed a lot of enterprise, a lot of energy from Saka. I thought he was one of our best players, and yet they got taken off. Seemed very strange. And one other thing as well, Cole Palmer, arguably the best player in the Premier League towards the end of the season, sat on the bench and stayed there. So what is going on with this England side? They're way better. They have to try really hard to be this bad. And they were truly terrible here today. I think they're lucky to get a draw. Denmark won, England won. We'll take your calls. We'll get England reaction as well. Your calls, please. 03717 22 3344.